Hi, welcome to Progressive Behavior. Today I want to talk about think tanks. I bet you have heard this word a lot of times. Think tank. What exactly is happening there and why do we have them? Basically, a think tank is a group of professionals who are experts on their subjects, and they bring their expertise in order to produce some kind of behavioral interventions. Let me explore a little bit more. When a think tank hires experts, they will always hire them in order to produce some kind of product. There has to be an outcome. There has to be one goal for which the think tank professionals are working towards. Majority of those are having to do with influencing human behavior. Whether we're talking about a political think tank, whether for a Democratic or Republican Party, the final result of any kind of behavioral interventions that are designed in a think tank is to influence a human behavior. And actually, I read an interesting article written by Bernard Tremblay, where he simply states that, in his view, that the work that he was doing for these think tanks could be described in 4 basic steps. First, you have to convince, then you have to compel, after you have to coerce, and at the end, conquer. And those 4 verbs really describe what happens in a think tank and what the whole purpose of the existence of think tank is. And it's first to gather data, and this is what we do also in behavior analysis. You gather data on the people that you're trying to make the intervention on. After you have enough data, you have experts that will come and tell you different interventions that they think are going to be positive, or they're going to result in some sort of payout for the organization who is paying for the think tank. And after that is completed, all of that has to be, now we have to compel the audience to participate. And this is the next part. This is where we go to actually launch these behavior interventions publicly. And this is done through media and through getting in contact with people on internet, through showing them commercials, through making phone calls, whether it be real people or robots delivering some kind of information, whether it could be a story published in a news outlet. All of those are still products of think tanks, and they are created with one goal, and it is to influence your behavior. And really when it boils down to what's happening in think tanks is unethical use of science. Science is created for people. No one can really create anything, even in the realm of science, without first having and learning some basic behavior repertoire from the society. The most basic example is you need to learn how to talk before you can create anything, before you can study anything, before you learn how to use research methods. So any scientists cannot really say that they've invented something. They've simply used the resources of the society in order to come to a new conclusion or to come up with a new idea or a new strategy. So my point is that it is an ethical use of science because science in itself is supposed to be created by people and used for people for the betterment of our society as a whole. But that's not what is happening. Science is used and is sold to the highest bidder in order to create unethical behavior interventions in this specific case, and then to reap the benefits as they apply to a very small group of people and to their own selfish interests.